we gotta wake up. Like, we really need to start waking up and speaking truth and really taking accountability. If you're having trouble, and then my sister was joking with me, we were watching TV because we were watching some show and it was like all this stuff with different ailments and different, if you take this in, my sister's talking to me, she's like, Tanya, it's so crazy, like these medicines and medications that come up and they'll be like, may cause bleeding, may cause suicide, may this, that. And I was like, exactly, I've totally seen that same thing where you might have like low back pain and they're like telling you to take some medicine and it might make you kill yourself. And people will take it. It is crazy. And so we've got to start tuning into the fact that we really have to be accountable for our own stuff. And we could go out there and get any pill of choice. I grew up with a mother who is completely over-medicated and afraid of every disease. And like, it was amazing to observe that as a child in her movie. But I never had to do that. And so some of you, if you've grown up around parents that are very hypochondriac, they're very, they've always been sick, and they're like, go to the doctor, what is your diseases in your family? What I encourage you not to tune into that. And this is why, not because you should be in denial, but I encourage you to be in your alignment of wholeness all the time. And if the forum comes along, like, do you have this? Did your grandmother have this? You know what? Maybe your grandmother did, and that was her journey. Your grandmother had her own specific journey. You do not need to be the bearer of her journey. And for so long, generations of people have carried the burden of their ancestors as if, oh, grandma had that problem, then mom had that problem, now it's my turn. What the crap? Like, we do not need to do that. Now, many of you are doing that. And if you want to tune into that, you may start to really discover some amazing things that could help liberate you and help free you from that energetic pattern. But if you want to stay in denial, that's fine. Like, we all have the freedom to choose where we would like to be. But I encourage you to tune into that and just to explore that for a while of how maybe we are encouraged to continue cycles. Maybe we are encouraged to continue with suffering. And maybe, just maybe, all the stuff happening on the planet and all these angels that are channeling in and all this magical stuff that's happening is because it's time and that there's a great intervention. Archangel Ariel told me recently when I was working with one of my yoga teacher students in our teacher training, she said that an amazing time is coming to the planet of an intervention, that the angels are here to intervene on our behalf because humans, we think we know it all. We think that we know what we're doing and we're at the end of our rope and we're calling out for help. And energetically, if we get honest, many of us know this is true, but we keep just looking for more rope instead of going inside, asking Source to support us and to bring us answers. Maybe it means we're going to have to change our own personality. Some of you are so attached to your personality, like, I'm this personality, I'm that, I was raised this way. All of these boxes, all of these labels are not serving you. If you say, oh, I'm autistic, or I'm bipolar, or I'm ADHD, or whatever, I'm a certain personality type, any of that is you are claiming and attaching yourself to that. Now, the truth of yourself is much bigger. It's fullness, it's source energy. So now you're taking all that source energy potential and you're saying, it can only show up like this. Like, this is the only way my source energy can show up. And this becomes really tight. We start to feel very burdened, very pressurized, and that tension will start to wear us out, and it's to get our attention. If you remember the show we did on the gift of pain, pain is coming to get your attention because you created this tight box. And as Ariel said, you want to free yourself, you want to have relief, then free yourself, peek out from the very boxes of enslavement that you've created. Archangel Ariel's words right there. And that we are here to save ourselves. The angels are here to help us, but they're not here to do our work for us. I'm an angelic healer. I assist people, and I am not here to do the work for you. I'm not here to carry your burden. If you're my child, if you're my neighbor or a client, I'm here to empower you. I'm here to help guide you, but I'm not here to carry your stuff. And so this is something that each of us needs to really wake up to, because if one person listening today wakes up and starts to tune into Source daily, goes to nature daily, starts, oh my God, I am freaking powerful. They start remembering that, and then they start shining that light in their part of the world. I just turned on another light. I assisted in turning on another light. Now they start speaking truth. They assist in turning on a few more lights. You see how it works? So we don't want to ever put off our work and procrastinate because others aren't doing it. Often we'll have people, hey, it's 444 right now. Often we'll have people, like if we have a relationship issue, well, I shouldn't have to change. He needs to change. You know what? Change yourself, shift your own energy to love, and you still win, regardless of if that other person changes. Maybe they'll never change. Maybe they'll never show love. And if so, you're going to remove yourself from their energy. But if you're hateful because they're being hateful, you're participating in the same game. So it's really important that we check in and we heal ourselves and we clear all that stuff so that we can be the change that we're here to see. Like, we really are the ones that hold the power. And as we shift, we have such a potential for creating greater shifts. I know my influence, and I know that influence came from the courage to be true to self, and the courage to speak truth and to let spirit speak through me today live in this way, without any need for what's going to come. Am I going to be rewarded? Maybe, maybe not. Am I speaking anyway? Yes, I am. So some of you listening, maybe you need to hear that and to realize you're here on the planet. Why? Why are you here right now? Why are you on this planet right now on planet Earth at this time? Start to be quiet and ask that question. I promise you, you will start to realize some important truth, and you will start to understand your ultimate soul mission. And you will feel amazing and fulfilled when you listen and start to take action in the alignment of that mission. If you want to stay stuck and you want to stay in struggle and fear, you absolutely can. And it will always feel heavy and it will always create suffering. But if you dare to go into places maybe you forgot how amazing it could feel, dare to start focusing on the gratitude, focusing on the love, lightening your load, lightening the heaviness of your burden, of your guilt, your anger, your shame, your unforgiveness. Let it drop and start to soar and raise up in vibration. And you will liberate yourself and many others in the journey that will be near your essence. Like, your vibration will affect others. So, pausing, did anybody bring a question, or did Ron tune in?
Well, I'm beginning to see a whole new side of Ron here.
Oh, what
Ron is saying, he says, it's so difficult not to go back to what you know works for any given situation. Some drugs or alcohol to numb the pain. Pornography to compensate for some lack of what's missing in a relationship. Overpowering someone with anger and lashing out to prove who is in charge and control. And he goes on to say, Tanya's answer is source. If I go back to source energy, then we go back to who we are. It's inside of us, and once connected and continually connected, the awareness enlightens, and you realize you don't need those material items to satisfy whatever is lacking. It took me time to drop those things, and I still continue to aware myself if I do think of the past addictions.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not easy, right? But actually it is. This is just the way I am. I am a chromosome, so how can I change? How? Choice.
Awesome. Is that all that he said? Is he done?
Yep. Well, I don't know. He keeps on.
Okay, well, I'll tune into that part. So, yes, because Ron is my fiance and beloved, I know all this stuff about him, which is huge that he's feeling brave enough to speak that publicly and in such a true, vulnerable way. And that's exactly the freedom. The liberation comes when we can be so honest and so free with that, and we can really not try to hide from it or tuck it in anymore. And when I met him, he talked to me a lot about this, and we both talked a lot about how in our past relationships there was things lacking, and like, what did we do because of that lack? What did we seek to find fulfillment? And sometimes you do feel like, if I find pornography, or if I go and smoke some weed, or if I go and get drunk, like, it's going to bring some kind of release or just help you to deal with the pain. And in truth, it doesn't help you deal with the pain. And that's what, Ron discovered in his past before we met. He did all these things, and he had women in his life that never challenged him. They never really said anything about it until they left him. And when they left him, then they yelled at him and blamed him and said they never loved him and were hateful. And it was because of their hurt. They were holding so much hurt. They were holding so much anger. So much unspoken truth was held inside of them that they were angry. He was angry. They weren't even connecting, but they had this appearance of a relationship. And so many humans are doing this right now. This is what they call love. It's so not love. And it's more of a codependency, a new addiction. We end up going, okay, well, I'm not feeling good, so let me go attach myself to this human. And Ron shared with me, with one of his wives, he has been married twice, and with one of his wives, he felt she was definitely someone he was just trying to rescue. And that could be some part of him that felt like, something's going on and I just need to save someone, because I really, in essence, he needed to save himself. And the journey of that, to learn from it, was pretty painful, and it was quite a karmic lesson. But he learned it. And how does he heal? By doing what he's doing, by being honest, by being truthful, by being vulnerable. And with him and I, when we came together, why is it that a woman like myself that is so about alignment and about health, why would I be with someone that has a past like that? Because it's his past, and because he showed me in the now how he was ready to release it, and he showed me how he was ready to let it go and to shift himself. And each of us, he and I in our relationship, we have given ourselves that commitment to always speak our truth. And, sometimes, like last night when I was crying, I was just crying and I couldn't talk. And he honors that. I'm just like, I'm just processing. I have to process these emotions, and then I will talk to you. And he's learned that's how Tanya does it. She processes, she's quiet, she reflects, then she talks to me. And then he feels his stuff. He has to process it, reflect, and then we come together and we heal it together. So with him and I, like, there's no need for any pornography or any of the drugs or anything, but it's because we have this connection. And he does come to yoga and meditation whenever he's able, and he does tune in and listen. And, when something's out of alignment and I share and shine the light to help him because I love him, he really listens to that, and he really chooses to shift it. And if I get upset and I get hurt and I, act out of alignment in some way, and I say, I'm so sorry, it's like, baby, it's okay. I forgive you. Like, I understand you're under a lot of pressure. You have a lot going on. And so we both comfort each other in understanding where we have our human moments. But because of that awareness, he's healed so much, and he doesn't feel this emptiness anymore. And that emptiness really, you could say, oh, is it just because he's with a healer for a woman? No. But having a woman like myself that's in her power and that's aware and that's demands health and alignment, and that will not tolerate that abuse anymore, that has helped him to really see things that in the past he didn't want to see. And we both can look back at our relationships and see where we participated in what happened. And we can see where, wow, because I so didn't love myself enough, I allowed all this crazy stuff to happen and just tolerated and tolerated. And he can see, wow, because I didn't love myself enough, because I didn't feel I was good enough, I just went and I found a way to escape my life. And it really didn't help him. It was so much pressure when I met him. And as he started to let go of that misaligned life, he started to say no to a lot of people. And that probably took a lot by surprise, and maybe why some of them aren't as great. I can't talk. Some of them maybe not so excited that he and I are together, though I feel that we're supported mostly by people that are in our world now. But there were many that dropped away, and some of those people just couldn't handle him being in honor of himself, couldn't handle him like standing in his power and saying no. So the healing part, that's going to happen for each of us when we dare to be true